Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, where we're going to continue with the 6.2 storyline. Estinien, what's up? Estinien looks at you with his piercing gaze, groping in the dark. Kakusha, you've come to the 13th before, yes? You fought Void Centaur. But clearly you didn't know they could regenerate, else you would have shared that detail beforehand. And that World of Darkness music. They seemed to stay dead at the time, yes. I think it's more the latter. I was in a bit of a rush, didn't have time to wait around and see. They certainly weren't immediately regenerated, but I don't know how long it would normally take. From what I know of your foray, I can hardly blame you. Perhaps they returned after you left, but if they didn't, there must be a reason why. Maybe they weren't in any rush to. I mean, they didn't seem that happy being alive. Zero, there are circumstances in which we're unable to return. If you like, I can tell you about this. Please do. The more you devour, the more powerful you grow, but in the process, your essence is blended with those of your prey. That's a really interesting, it's not a game mechanic because it's like just how their biology works, but that's a really interesting game system that's set up, that you want ether, but you also don't want to... I was going to say you don't want to mix your essence with those who are weaker, but that's starting to sound sort of eugenicsy. So let's just click the button. If you were to lose your flesh, the souls you had come to harbor may break free and coalesce into distinct void scent once more. If you were to lose your flesh, the souls you had come to harbor, so you don't mix with them, they're just living inside you to power you up, like batteries that you can be taken out? I guess. And before you yourself return, your own soul may be devoured by your enemies or your erstwhile prey, a fate more likely for stronger beings who require more time to regenerate. However, even assuming you survive the process, it's highly uncommon to return as you were. This is reminding me very much of the, what the hell is their name? The Moon Steppe people, Sadu's people. That was sounded kind of their mythology too. I mean, this case, I don't know how much mythology is in either case, but that's their mythology. A little bit. Barshan, yet despite his greater strength, Scarmiglione managed to resurrect rather swiftly. Are there others capable of the same? Yep, 3 others at least. Not that I'm aware of. His attunement to his flesh must have been unique for him to develop such an ability. I mean, it's got to be something that they nommed down on from the sister. Shtola, I believe we understand the fundamentals of rebirth now. If I may, I would ask you about your power. Will you tell us about it? What you saw should speak for itself. I combined the ether of the soul and crystal. Many wielded this power during the Contra Memoria, but I'm the only one left. I can't get over her style. It's so good. Like the feather and the hat, it's like a dark knight and a red mage had a beautiful baby. I'm told that the heroes of the 13th once sealed gods in stone called Auracite. Are they in Memoria one and the same? And I really want to replay Final Fantasy IX now to see if anything in Memoria-wise is being referenced. Auracite. I do not know this word, but the world is vast, and perhaps Memoria had different names elsewhere. But it does sound quite similar. How does one come to wield Memoria, and what happened to your peers? I've never thought about that. Really? I do know that Void Scent can't use this power. I assume I can because I'm mortal in part. Ah. I see. Zero, I wish to ask you about the man called Golbez. He may well have my sister in his clutches. Is there aught you can tell us of him? The name sounds vaguely familiar, though I can't say how I know it. Alright. This is one of those theories based off of the law of... No, it's not a law of conservation of characters. This is... I wonder if... I'll just say it. I wonder if Zero is one of the fiends. No, because never mind. I was going to say, is she one of the fiends and she just lost her memory? It's like a Gaia situation. But no, because we saw the fiends talking to Golbez, all 4 of them, and Zero was separate from that. We saw Zero as separate from that after the battle. Yeah, so no, never mind. I don't think that anymore. If he is powerful, however, someone in the castle may have heard of him. Then we must try talking to the other Voidsent again. Let us entrust the task to Kukushu. Her echo will help facilitate communication. More importantly, she should be able to maintain her composure better than a concerned sibling. I do have less personally invested, I think that's fair. That I cannot deny. Forgive me, but will you not ask about Golbez in my stead? On the terraces to begin with, perhaps? Thank you. We shall remain here and discuss what other avenues we might pursue in the meantime. I also have learned that I can mount up in this area. I was doing all this running just on foot because I'm a Dunkus McGee. I'm not that big of a Dunkus McGee. This was a dungeon. I think I was right to assume that you couldn't mount up, but even if I ended up being incorrect. So with this echo of yours, you can see into the past. Interesting. Those memories may as well be all that remains of it, though. Everything and everyone was warped by darkness. However storied it may appear, this castle is simply the product of its mistress's mind. This castle is simply the product of its mistress's... Wait, say that again? Everything was warped by darkness. However storied it may appear, this castle is simply the product of its mistress's... I don't know whether she means that very literally, like her memories brought this into existence when there was void before. Maybe that's what she means. Like the darkness wiped out everything, and in its place, her memories through, like, I don't know, dynamis creation, whatever, like, were able to create this out of her. I don't know. Estinien, I know what it feels like to have my essence blended with that of another. That was not a pleasant experience for you from, was it 3.0 to 3.3? Yet tumultuous though it was only one worm's soul. To be bound but to scores of others over thousands of years sounds horrible. Yeah, it's kind of like you're just in the sunken place. You're just a passenger. You can't move. I assume you also perceive a lot of that, though. Hopefully you don't, but... Barshan, according to your vision, Golbez recruited his champions and raised an army by offering a dragon's ether in exchange. Whatever his crusade, it is unconscionable to use a dragon's life force as fodder. He will answer for his deeds. It certainly doesn't seem like he's being set up as a misunderstood... Well, even if he is, in 4 he wasn't set up as like he was set up just as a straight up bad guy for we didn't get hints of the mind control until later in 4. I don't know why I just blazed through that. Scarmiglione too appeared surprised by Zero's power. As she says, it must be a lost art. Yeah. That makes her invaluable to our cause, far more than someone who can simply communicate. Yeah, we got super lucky with Zero. Fearful Voidsent. So the clever one hadn't been eaten. If no one wants it, then perhaps... You are not going to eat her. I guess you could say she has 0 nutritional value. Golbez. Of course I know him. Only a fool without ears wouldn't. His archfiends lead armies to ravage and conquer. They devour those who they deem useless, those who can't fight. If you don't want to be eaten, you had better flee, though soon there will be nowhere to run. It seems the archfiends keep only those who are fit for battle. Others must escape or be consumed. Yeah, real, who was the Marvel character that was all about that? All about survival of the fittest? Was it Apocalypse? I think it was Apocalypse. Forlorn Voidsent. If the one who devoured her dies, perhaps the mistress will return, then I may bask in her gaze again. Probably not. I mean, maybe, I guess. Maybe. Golbez, you say? My mistress spoke of him. He commands the archfiends. They are very powerful and have conquered many domains. Presumably all within the 13th. But they were really excited by the gate opening to the source. And they said, like, we'll God, I wish I don't remember what exactly they said, but I got the impression that it was like the gates opening again. Oh, no, it was again because the dragon came through the first time, so maybe they were hoping for another snack or another power source. The mistress bade us defend the castle from them. Yes, yes, she did. So these are... They fended off the Team Golbez? Archfiends have been attacking other domains. Yeah. It sounds like they fended off Team Golbez. Go team. Go Team Watchful Voidsent. Ugh, the tasty one returns to tempt me. I mustn't eat you. I mustn't eat you. Golbez, I know of him from those I've eaten. He has minions, and those minions have minions. No one ever sees him. His army of minions, Golbez would seldom have need to act personally. It will not be easy to reach him. I wonder if Golbez is even going to be... This is more of a meta question, but I wonder if Golbez is going to be dealt with this expansion. Like, I know we'll interact with him, but I don't... Oh, we have to go back, don't we? Yeah. I wonder if we'll interact with him this expansion, like if we'll deal with him, or if he'll be like Fandaniel and he'll be a continued presence going into 7.0. Oh, you finished already? We did get, or did we get carried away talking? There's no easy way to mark the passage of time in this world, nor do I imagine such things concern Voidsent. It would take considerable mental fortitude to still care after millennia in this endless night. I guess. I mean, I guess why would you care about time? It's... I don't see why they wouldn't care. Like, wouldn't they care just as much as any human or animal? Is there no end to their questions? I should have demanded more ether. It could be worse. You could have made that deal with a pixie. Estinien. No trouble on your end either? Good. I dare say Scarmillione's fate served as sufficient warning. Let's hope that those elsewhere have the same sense. Welcome back, Kukushu. Were you able to learn aught of value? So countless voids sent answer to the Archfiends, who in turn answer to Golbez, as your vision did suggest. Because we know so little about Golbez, there's nothing that makes me... I guess we still don't know if he's the... We've barely met him, so it's still possible they'll do a 4 thing with having him be subservient to someone else. You know, Zemus or Zeromus or someone like that. Zeromus! Is Zero secretly the big bad? Zeromus? Is Zero secretly the big bad? I hope not. I want her to be my best friend. Oh god, I really hope not. I really hope not. Now I'm scared. I'm really... just for anyone who... Spoilers for the next 20 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever for Final Fantasy IV, but... So, yeah, Golbez in Final Fantasy IV was mind-controlled by a Lunarian being, like basically a bigger bad called Zemus, whose name was who turned into Zeromus. So is Zero going to become Zeromus? Ah, God, I hope not. So, now I'm nervous. Okay, move on. Okay, we could do this. Scarmillione's aggression is also consistent with the claims that the Archfiends conquer other domains. The question is, how did we reach Golbez if he surrounds himself with armies of minions? We could target other Archfiends, or perhaps those who have fled his service. Either may yield useful information. Who came first in 4? Did you fight Knazo or Barbariccia first? That said, we can't do much while we're stuck on this isle. Zero, I would ask a favor of you. I am determined to save my sister Ajdaya. If there is even a faint possibility that Golbez has her, then I must find him. To that end, I want you to lend us your strength and knowledge. Will you accompany us on our quest? Yeah, like you gotta... Yeah, forgotten the way of my world already. If you want help, offer payment. None here will aid you out of the kindness of their hearts, and who claim otherwise are liars and betrayers. Yeah, you've been pretty upfront about your goals. You don't seem manipulative. Or is this less of a request? Less a request and more of a threat? If I refuse, will you force me to serve? No, he will not. 100% he will not. If you accompany us, we can offer you protection. Surely you must desire something, name it. I don't think she needs protection. So, on the other hand, I'm thinking about this in terms of our world, where like a character like Zero would see protection as like, no, how dare you insult my pride? I can protect myself. But this is a world where there's a really clear designated hierarchy of strength, and she acknowledges that she's below us in that. And so she might actually see this as something worthwhile, something of value. I don't want to, there's nothing I'm risking. This is more just role play thinking it out, because I know that whatever I pick, it'll move the story along. But I think I'd rather be kind of more deferential. Surely you must desire something, name it. There's also a chance that I have no purpose. Why would I desire anything? There's also a chance that Kukushu would probably not mind Zero nomming on her neck. I swear I'm not thirsty. I have no purpose. Why would I desire anything? That's why I didn't bother to resist when the ones here fell upon me. What matters in a world that's already dead? Also, kudos to Final Fantasy Endwalker, to this expansion, for continuing the themes from the 6.0 content in the patch content. Because boy, does this continue those themes. By that logic, you've no reason to refuse our requests. The payment need but be to your satisfaction, correct? Did I not already say as much from the start? Very well, Zero. I propose you travel with us, and whenever you perform a deed that requires payment, we will provide it in ether. Yeah, we basically have her on kind of not on retainer. It's yeah, it's not retainer. It's like the gig economy of ether. We're gonna DoorDash some Zero. That's all you had to say. Everything else was superfluous. Fair point. Where to now? I like the cut of these two's jibs together. I could see, I don't ship it yet, but I could see myself shipping Estinien and Zero. Either a place the archfiends may strike next, or where refugees and deserters may seek sanctuary. I know the latter. I'll take you there. I assume you also know how we can get off this isle. I was brought here on a mount. We can leave the same way. You were brought here on a mount? You were brought here? Who brought you here? How did you get here? I just assumed that you just popped back here on, I just assumed that you popped back here after, after we beat, Xenos. Now that you mention it, I did notice some flying creatures near the terraces. Given our numbers, we'll need a large one, but regardless of size, all can be won over with ether. Excellent. Let us go and find our mount at once. What's a big mount that we might... Snooping Void sent. Not good. Lord Golbez must hear of this. Yeah, there's eyes everywhere. What are you looking at, Zero? We should be able to find a mount here. With the castle in disarray, the creatures will be hungry. Just a little ether should suffice. Are you ready? Yeah, it's like a carrot on a stick, but instead of a carrot, it's your soul.
There it is.
It looks sort of like a dragon. It's not, but I couldn't see what type of void scent it was or what its shape was. Is it like dark dragon, like that sort of dragon? No, it's like a... Hang on a second. Is this what... What's going on?
Good. It agrees to serve. Get on.
A woman of few words, but they're powerful. I was going to say, is that statue the same statue that was there in the Diabolos fight at the end of Dunscaith, or however you pronounce it? This mount has got to be a reward for something. Please not in the store. It's not quite a gargoyle. It's not quite a dragon. It's just its own thing. Does it have hands? I couldn't see its front. Where are we going? What island is this? Is the refuge island? This is maybe this is like the Goth Island Sanctuary. One of those ruby sea or just general aquatic creatures there, but with spikes. Look at a gremlin! The look of this place is so cool.
What is this place?
My domain.
Like, I thought for a second that was the Final Fantasy IV music when you go to sleep. Dun 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 dun. I don't know how to, I can't do it like that, but I thought it was that for a second. I'll hear it as I go. And by your domain, do you mean the place where you live, or like you own it?
It was a sanctuary for me alone. But over time, others began to gather here. Those who had nowhere else to go.
A settlement of pariahs.
This is 1000% from Final Fantasy IV. I'm just trying to pin it down where it was. It's like it's like the sad music after like Palom and Porum got stoned and stuff like that. That's what it's from. I mean, it's from other parts, but that's the story that I recognize it now.
What's that? Mortals! They're mortals! What's in this ether?
I love these voices. Don't make me swat you. Is she gonna go all like void blowfish here and just show that we're not to be messed with?
Not fair.
I can't get over these voices. They're so good.
You are under my protection here and will not be harmed. I give you my word.
I don't think you're a big bad. I'm not ruling out that you might eventually become someone named Zeramus and might have some relation to Golbez, but I don't think you're like the secret mastermind ready to unleash hell on whatever. But we'll see. The name still gives me pause, but it's just the name at this point. No, it's the name and not knowing what that she has a connection she can't remember to Golbez. That also is giving me pause. But Golbez clearly could have conquered, it clearly wants to conquer stuff and hasn't conquered this. Just a very pretty rendition of that piece. It is said that a person's domain is a reflection of what abides in their heart. If true, this place may offer a glimpse into Zero's past. Barshan, 'tis quite a gathering of void scent. I pray one among them has knowledge we seek. The longer one lives, the more one yearns for peace. I understand why some would sequester themselves here. Especially given that... I don't know, because you'd think that this would be the most peaceful place ever if the longer one lives, the more one yearns for peace. This is my abode. The others won't come near, so you may be at ease. While they know their place, if tantalizing ether were to walk by, I can't guarantee they wouldn't pounce. Yeah, like even a well-trained dog like has limits as far as like if you present a juicy enough steak and the dog is hungry enough, like something's going to happen. It is a void sense nature to consume, their sole purpose. Even if the pursuit of ether may lead to their undoing, many succumb to instinct. But any who succumb here will have to answer to me. This is my domain's one and only rule, and it is absolute. Don't mess with Zero. Nowhere to run. Having given you due warning, Zero would leave you to your own devices. Consider yourselves duly warned. If you wish to go among the Void Sent here, that is your choice to make. All have fled from one master to another, but whether any of those masters in turn served Golbez, I do not know. You must ask them yourselves. Most have traveled to your world, so it shouldn't be difficult to communicate. We shall go about making inquiries at once. Thank you for your counsel. Once we've learned all we can, let us reconvene at yonder plaza. You're going too, of course, in which case I shall come. Yes! BFFs. Okay. I wish only to observe. Do not expect me to help. I just want you by my side, Zero. That'll be enough. Then it's settled. I'm ready when you are. Okay. Oh, excuse me, sneeze. Although this is my domain, I don't make a habit of strolling about. 'Tis a strange feeling. What do? Do you just stay here and just chill in your hideout? It's not a super pleasant hideout. There's not a lot going on here, I mean. I call this my abode, but spend hardly any time here. I return only for meditation. While physical wounds can be healed by replenishing one's ether, you can't preserve your form if you lose sight of yourself. That is beautiful. I mean that sincerely. I mean that very sincerely. Such is the risk inherent in consuming another's soul. It dilutes your sense of self, alters you inside and out. To guard against this, I meditate, visualize who I am in a place all my own. Zero is climbing up the ranks of awesomeness. Ramshackle Square. What do you have to say about this plaza? This is the heart of my domain. Normally it's deserted, but you and yours have drawn everyone out. I don't recall this statue, though. However it came to be here, I certainly didn't wish for it. A knight with a shield and sword. What's the mark that's on the shield? Is it a meteor crashing like on if the shield were straight up? Is it a meteor going from like, I mean, as we're looking at it now, from bottom to top, otherwise from from left to right? Maybe it could be like a streaking meteor. The other thing I'm initially thinking, just with everything in my mind going in Final Fantasy IV-ish, is this Cecil. I just don't know. Whose likeness is this, you ask? A hero who will save the world. I'm waiting for the day he comes. Or was it a she? I can't remember the details. I don't know how long I've been waiting or why I even wait. Could you be the hero, perhaps? No, I don't think so. Something tells me I'll know him when I meet him. Or her. I'll just have to keep waiting. Waiting, Void Sent. It is easier to just use the singular they, them. So it's definitely not me. Like, I'm certain it's not me. I'm leaning towards some form of Cecil, but I don't know what that will be like in this game. Interesting. Anything else to check? No. Empty-eyed Void Sent. You walk around with her like that. You're her minion, then. You know I don't take minions. She has some questions, and I want you to answer them. Zero. No gods, no masters. Golbez, I don't know that one. Only Skathak. Again, apologies for how to... I don't know how to pronounce that. I know that Irish names can have, or Irish origin names can have very different pronunciations than they would in like American, just American English, you know, phonetic American English. But so I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it. When she led us beyond the Great Veil, I grew scared and... Was that Skathak that we fought? No, that wasn't Skathak. I was going to say it was the Mistress of the Realms, the Mistress we fought before. Was that Skathak, but like a version of her? I don't think so. I mean, he didn't look anything like her. You didn't have that same pixie-esque thing. No, I don't think it was her. When she led us beyond the veil, I grew scared and fled. I've been here since. I don't know. And you would have, if that were Skathak, you would be back on. You would have been in the other castle. I don't know anyone else, nor do I wish to. That's all I can tell you. Skathak was a powerful voidsent who ruled over a vast domain. I remember her. That was a long time ago, though, so I doubt she has any connection to Golbez. Okay. Hungry voidsent. You're so cute. Stay away from me. If you don't want to be eaten, stay away. Golbez, Golbez, I've heard the name before. Always speaking of a great crusade. I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. Sorry for that sound. I won't do that again. Crusade, you say? From whom did you hear? Oh, that's 0. Crusade, you say? From whom did you hear this? Farfarello. He was a minion of another minion. Went on and on about the terrible things he saw. I see. Perhaps Farfarello can tell us more. Farfarello. Okay. I assume you're just... This is... I don't think this is actually the... What was his name? The guy who... we fought in that first dungeon in Tom Tower Normal. I don't think this is you. Maybe it's you. I don't think this is just a standard costume design for squids. I thought that was like... I mean, you're wearing like a crown. You're looking pretty regal. Maybe it's a standard Mind Flayer design. Amy Bill Voidsent. You're one of the mortals. Is it true? When you die over there, you really die? Yeah. I mean, mostly. So it is. So it is. What brings you here then? Brings me here is your belly. I want to pat it. I actually no. They do have. They do seem to have like head jewelry as a thing. Ah, yes, Golbez. He seeks strong minions to grow his army, so I hear. But recently he stopped doing that. Instead, he devours all. Perhaps he's gathered enough fodder and is now intent on bolstering his own strength. A sure sign he is about to make a move. It could also... I think that's likely. The other thought is it could be a sign of despair, like he's given up, but boy, that doesn't sound right, given... It sounds like he's more ramping up. Satisfied with what you've learned? Ah, but let's step away before you become too tempting to resist. I am quite a snack. Seems the rumors of Golbez reach even my remote domain. Fair to assume he's gathering strength for his crusade, whatever that may be. But I must say, I wouldn't have guessed that Farfarello once fought in Golbez's army. It's a miracle he survived serving an archfiend. Farfarello. I suppose I should explain. So Farfarello is not someone who's like a brute strength person. Farfarello is the weakest among us, constantly in fear of being devoured. He seldom consorts with others. The only one he's comfortable with is Chiriato. He's a fellow coward who runs the instant... By the way, if there's any Italian speakers in the chat, if there's any Italian speakers in the comments or watching this, let me know if there's a particular meaning. If, like, Farfarello means, I don't know, he who devours Lalafels or something. It's a fellow coward who runs the instant he senses a threat and won't stop until he's exhausted. When their hunger grows too intense, they feed on each other's ether. Such is their relationship. That sounds incredibly toxic. Or supportive. I guess it could go either way. But I ramble. You intend to seek out Farfarello, I presume? Then I'll come with you. He's less likely to hide that way. Meanwhile, elsewhere, are we getting some Golbez? Probably. Yep. One of the lights is gone.
Not only did the mortals conquer Troy, they defeated Scarmalione. I struggle to believe it.
Believe it, Ruby.
They're very small, my lords. They were aided by one of our world, who transformed Scarmalione's soul into crystal.
Is Farfarello the eyeball that was watching us, maybe?
Crystal. This one speaks of Memoria. Now there's a word I've not heard for an age. It'll bring a pang of nostalgia to my breast and a tear to my eye. If the very notion wasn't absurd, the gifted are gone, drowned in darkness. As
Oh, sorry.
And yet Scarmalione still does not answer.
Because he's not dead, he's just crystallized. He can still pop out of the crystal, right? Like, not
Were he
easily, but...
alive, he would have returned by now.
Or no, maybe he's actually dead.
Weakest though he was, his ability to regenerate was without peer. If this account is true, if a Memoriat has survived...
A Memoriat. Also, I seem to remember... I like that scoff. I seem to remember Keinazo looking down on Scarmalione in 4. I could be wrong on that,
They
though.
cannot be suffered to live.
So you're not a fan of the Memoriats. Presumably for something beyond just the power they hold. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the power.
Leave this matter to me, Lord Golgaz. I, Barbariccia, shall strike down any who pose a threat to our plans.
Oh, that's my answer. Sounds like we got the next one up in line.
'Tis true, you are a proven commander, well suited to leading an assault.
And when I have succeeded, I would beg a boon of you.
More snacks?
What do you desire?
The dragon's ether. All that remains.
the insolence know your place.
With respect, my locks are free as the wind, without incentive to sway them. I know not whither they will blow.
Boldly spoken. I trust you will not disappoint me.
Yeah, bargaining doesn't seem like it's an insulting concept here. Like haggling. It seems like it's just the way of the void, the way of the 13th.
Upon this flowing hair and my immortal soul, I will not fail.
I wonder if it's going to be like a, I'm trying to think of who was the boss, the raid boss that was like based around hair. Was it Calofistieri? I wonder if it's going to be, there's going to be like a hair mechanic, because that's twice she's mentioned her locks in her hair. I guess her hair was like the wind, basically.
And impress upon these interlopers the futility of defiance.
My lord,
It's getting lonelier here. Only 3 left. I mean, they think Barbariccia's still around, but I assume Barbariccia's pretty much dead at this point. Barfarello keeps to the fringes of my domain this way. She does trust Farfarello, so maybe... Oh, let me talk to Varshan. Well, no, actually, we'll talk to Varshan on the way. She does trust Farfarello, so I do... and I trust her. So maybe Farfarello wasn't the spy. Farfarello's hiding place. The void sent here don't answer to a master. They can do as they please. But all must answer to the hunger and seek out prey when they need ether. Except Farfarello and Chiriato. They are content to take from one another. Barring an incident, they dare not venture out. How is it... I thought ether was a zero-sum game. If they devour some and... I guess when they eat ether, it's not like digested and removed. It's like they take it as part of them. No, because they use energy and they need more ether to replenish it. So I don't... Maybe that's just an emergency measure, or maybe ether... I don't know how they don't run out in that case, I guess. When he takes flight, Chiriato will not seek shelter until he is utterly spent. Farfarello, on the other hand, prefers to hide in the same place. Come. How are you doing, Varshan? It was in order to strike down the cloud of darkness that my sister crossed over to the void. What befell her after she vanished into the gate? How did she become Golbez's captive? These things and more I hope to learn. I'm trapped. Oh, there we go. Alright. We got Vicious Void sent over here. Hello, puppy. I'm so hungry I might die, but I can't not while someone's near. You're not devouring my ether, you hear? You're not devouring my ether. Yeah, that sounds like a rough fate. I am not devouring your ether. Look at the sky here, the clouds, the mistiness. Chiriato. Oh, whatever will I do now? Chiriato, this is rather unexpected. Where's Farfarello? Oh, Farfarello isn't here anymore. He's left. Yes, that's right. Did you eat all of Farfarello? Left. That doesn't sound like him at all. Well, he's gone, all right. What more do you want me to say? I mean, you have a lot of mouths to feed, so I wouldn't blame you, but you looked guilty there. Off he flees, as he is wont to do. Something about this doesn't sit well with me. What do you make of Chiriato's behavior? Guilty as heck. Seemed frightened. Perhaps someone threatened him. I thought he was guilty, but... No, I guess maybe he was frightened. I mean, I'll just go... We'll go with the more general. I don't think he was telling the truth. So you think so too? As he says, Farfarello is gone, but that is quite unusual. As is the fact that Chiriato, who was clearly frightened by something, chose not to flee, but instead hid here, where Farfarello usually... No. We must go after Chiriato now. Chiriato didn't... Did Chiriato eat its buddy? I'm sure I might be mistaken. I feel like I'm misunderstanding what this is... What's happening here, but... I hope they didn't... I hope Chiriato didn't eat their BFF. Chiriato, we need to talk. There's no time. The wind rises. We must flee. The wind... So maybe you are just afraid. Maybe you're just afraid of Barbariccia on the way. The wind rises. What is he talking about? After him. Yeah, he went... Estinien, what do you see? The Void Scent is too weak to create its own domain and must join with others for protection. Alternately, it may devour them in a bid to become stronger, but in so doing, risk losing its sense of self. It is an unenviable struggle. I do not envy it, I agree. Alright, Chiriato. What's gotten into you? What do you mean the wind rises? When the wind rises, she comes, Barbariccia! Barbariccia? Who in the world is that? We must flee, all of us. There's no time. I don't sense anything, but he seems convinced. It's a dead end beyond. We'll corner him. And the more I listened to it, I thought at first that it was the sleep music, but no, that's a totally different piece. This is also the someone died music. This is the music when they blink out of existence that comes up. We're doomed. There's nowhere to run. What are you running from? I already told you, Barbariccia, the Archfiend of Wind. Archfiend, you say? We will be devoured and forced to serve, to fight in the crusade, but it makes no difference. In the end, all are eaten by her or her enemies. Or minions or her enemies? What did he say? What did they say? Eaten by her or her enemies. I didn't want to fight anymore. That's why I fled and came here. I see. That explains everything. Almost. Doesn't explain Farfarello. I thought it was Farfarello who used to serve an Archfiend. Not you. Not you. Not you who always ran at the first sign of trouble. You who now speak as though you were So they did eat Farfarello. And their essence is merging with them, that's why. You who now speak as though you were Barbariccia's minion. There's only one explanation. He devoured Farfarello. Indeed, that would account for his uncharacteristic behavior. So is that the way of it? Did you devour Farfarello? And not just a portion of his ether, but his entire being. You are about to get wrecked, aren't you? How did you know? It wasn't only your behavior that felt strange. Because she can probably see, like, your ether or whatever. You felt strange, as if there was more than you present. Now, I don't believe you would have lost control. More likely it was at Farfarello's behest? It was at Farfarello's behest. Farfarello requested it? Didn't want to be alone? I can't hide anything from you. I admitted Farfarello didn't leave. I ate him. He feared Barbariccia more than anything, hated the endless fighting. So he begged me to devour him, that he would never have to fight again. That's really sad. Rather than an eternity of fighting, he chose a moment of pain. Which is an incredibly reasonable decision, in my opinion. For all the good it did, I can still hear his... Right, except for the way that, like, death isn't death here. For all the good it did, I could still hear his voice in my head. He's frightened, so very frightened. When you're eaten, your essence is blended with that of your devourer, and though you have no control, your consciousness in part endures. What a hell. Were this a world where the wheel of life and death still turned, the soul wouldn't linger so stubbornly. In time, it would return to the great flow. But there's no such end here, no escape. All know this. In making his choice, Farfarello must have become desperate indeed. And now that desperation is joined with Chiriato's fear, driving him to act erratically. This place will become a battlefield. This place will become a battlefield. We don't want to be eaten. Neither me nor Farfarello, but there's nowhere to go. Nowhere. Then tell me about Barbariccia. I would know who it is we face. It's too late. She's as good as here, and no one can escape her winds. No one.
Barbariccia! She has come!
Is that an airship? What is that?
And she's brought her domain with her.
No,
The
it's like a...
Archfiend's after you and yours, I shouldn't doubt.
It's like a tower or something.
Perhaps you should go and find them. But be warned, whatever this is about, do not expect us to get involved.
I can't bear it! Eating and being eaten! I only want to be left in peace!
You and me both.
Isn't that one of the... I seem to remember that something like that from Dante's Inferno, from like someone whose punishment was being eaten by someone else, like eternally, and God, this sounds like a literal hell.
One of the archfiends approaches.
They must have been tracking our movements.
She's here.
Of course Estinien can sense it. Not that it takes anyone sensing it, I mean... You beauty. You utter beauty, Barbariccia.
Excellent. You've saved me the trouble of traveling to Troya.
So you're Barbariccia.
Don't fall for her, Estinien, or do fall for her. I'm okay with it either way.
Mind your manners, mortal. My name is not to be spoken, save in reverence and fear. And what is this pitiful domain? Pitiful wretches all. I will put you out of your misery.
Why is the voice actress familiar to me? No! Listen, just leave Black Fawn alone. Yeah, she's powering up. Are you really gonna... You can't... I mean, she's brought the fight to you. You can't just sit this one out,
Alas,
Zero.
poor Scarmiglione. And good riddance. Felled by outsiders in pursuit of what? Pray tell?
A dragon. One who crossed to this world thousands of years ago. Know you aught of it?
Yeah, she does.
A dragon, you say? Huh. My Lord Golbez is more clever than I realized. To let the prize live, that it might lure more prey to us.
Is that all that Golbez was hoping for? Maybe. Maybe that's all Golbez was hoping for with drawing us here, with or with when he got excited that the portal was opening, like more snacks, more batteries.
Very well. In gratitude and service, I shall devour every last mote of their souls.
She's very matter of fact.
Where is Ashdaya?
Huh. You even share its scent. How curious. And irresistible.
I can't stop smiling. This is so good.
If you think us easy prey, you're wrong.
Also, I like the choice of giving her a giant sword.
I need not skulk in shadow to claim what is mine.
And this is, I'm usually not a fan of the like the super scantily clad women bosses, but like Barbariccia is, I'm okay with it. Like something about the idea of being just an elemental of wind cloaked basically in her long flowing locks and just some random pieces of whatever, some really cool designs too. I'm not usually a fan of it. I really like it here.
If you would know about the dragon you seek, then enter into my domain.
Yes. Yes.
You may flee instead if you wish, if the fate of the sorry lot here is of no concern to you. One way or another, I will have satisfaction.
What's the plan then?
Is this a dungeon? Go after Barbariccia. What else? If we go, we'll be playing into her hands. And oh, please let her be please let her be our tank. Please let Zero be our tank. Go after Barbariccia. If we go, we'd be playing into her hands. No, we got to go after her because I believe that she doesn't care if she devours us or not. Like, I think she would take
Indeed.
devouring this place instead.
Yet she will have the upper hand in her domain. We must be no less than fully prepared.
It was a pretty small line. This could be a trial instead.
We find her and get our answers. Will you be joining us, Zero?
Are we paying?
You may be easily goaded into accepting her challenge, but my curiosity is not so insatiable as to cloud my judgment.
It's fair.
Nevertheless, if you are desperate for my aid, you know my price.
I shall pay it.
That's quite a price from a dragon.
So long as you leave me strength enough to see my sister home, you may take as much as you wish.
That's...
And lest you forget, mine is no ordinary ether. Barbariccia too recognized its potency.
Now I'm worried.
Very well. We have a bargain.
I hope you didn't just make a mistake, Varshan. Because that could be one way we get like a Zeromus fight also, is just if... I could see us having like a Zero trial where Zero consumes enough of the ether that she's temporarily corrupted or something like that until we defeat her. So it's possible she becomes Zeromus and we fight her and she's still not a true enemy. That is possible. I have no intention of demanding anyone's ether until afterwards. Weakening you now would only reduce my chances of getting paid. Practical. Just you wait, Barbariccia. I will have answers from you yet. What little I learned in your absence did not pertain to the Archfiends. That discussion can wait until after we've tended to Barbariccia. So you did learn stuff. Interesting. The less time we give the enemy to prepare, the better. And indeed, in my heart weighs heavy for those Barbariccia has struck down. Were it not for us, she would not have come here. Should you require a moment, Zero? For what? Barbariccia took what she could. She was wise to strike quickly as we would be. Yeah, they really don't seem like they take this whole, Kukushu is fixated on his junk, no matter how much I try to look away. They really don't seem like they take the whole devouring the weak personally. Agreed, this is no time for sentiment, only the battle matters now. Was there a skill squish? Or a... Was there a stat squish at some point? I seem to... These stats look smaller than I seem to remember. I'm okay with that. I'm surprised. I like stat squishes very much. I hate when numbers get too high. I wouldn't mind if they stat squished everything, but like I wonder. The wind rises. A word of warning. Barbariccia spoke as if she would give us answers if we were to defeat her. But even assuming she'll talk, which I doubt, I trust I needn't tell you how foolish it is to give an archfiend a second chance. Best to seal her away at the earliest opportunity. I agree. If you wish to peer her into her past, the memorial will suffice. I can't wield the power at will. I'll try, but I make no guarantees. Yeah, I can't wield the power at will. Well, then you'd better hope it favors you when the time comes. Yeah, it tends to favor me. Rest assured, this won't be our last Oh, that's Ishtola. Rest assured, this won't be our last opportunity to learn about Ashdaya. If another Archfiend were to fall, Golbez would surely be compelled to respond. We need only wait for our quarry to come to us. Indeed, if our struggles with Scarmiglione taught us aught, it is that we must hold nothing back when facing an Archfiend. Let us heed Zero's advice and seal her away at the earliest opportunity. I agree. We'll travel by Nisrock. That's a Nisrock, I guess? Okay. Travel to Barbariccia's domain. Bum, 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 bum.
You're not the only ones who can ride the wind.
Using the cane line. He's gonna pogo stick around. Oh, those gross bug fiends.
Leave these ones to us.
I see to Barbariccia.
That smile. That winning $1 million smile. Bana, bana. I'm in a good mood right now. So my crystal is giving me the power to summon. It's the crystal of the traveler. It makes sense. It's giving me the power to summon others. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Storm's Crown now accessible. Just when I think they can't get more badass with the naming and titles and the Storm's Crown. Is this... Wait. Is this whole thing made up of her hair? I think it is. That's kind of amazing. Here we go. Storm's Crown. I guess it's crowned because we're atop like this big old hair of the wind. All right, and this is, as these almost always are, this is unspoiled, and so as I Empress of the Winds, Barbariccia. So when I mess up on mechanics, I hope you will be forgiving, because this is my first time seeing and trying them.
Come, give yourselves to my scouring winds that I may feast upon your essence.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Okay.
Such rich, exquisite ether. My hair shivers with anticipation.
Yeah, your hair is quite a thing. I'm just thinking of, all right, so what were some mechanics from the fight in 4 against Barbariccia? She at some point would turn into a tornado and would counterattack until you used a jump attack to defeat her, to break her out of it. That looks like a place I don't want to be. Whoa, what was that? I didn't see anything. Hair raid. Why is everyone going here?
Try this.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but that looks like a stack mechanic for tanks. I don't know what that last mechanic was or what the tells were.
Have at you.
So maybe once she stops there... hair raid? No one's moved. I really got nothing. I don't know what I'm looking for, what the tells are in these different things. Am I slowed?
My locks are as the wind.
Teasing tangles. I see that wind there. Fetters. I don't want to be in the fetters.
Soft, strong, and free.
Oh shit! I think I was good for a second there, but so every so often maybe it pulls you back, and you have to take into account getting pulled back so you don't get pulled too far. I don't quite know, but I'm certainly dead. I'm quite dead. Okay. Except raise Savage Barbary. I thought that it would be like a where it stops. That's the direction that she... I don't know what's going on here. Hair raid. So that's a straight line. Is this going to be a straight line attack coming out from here? No.
A fair wind blows.
More teasing tangle. So how do we not get... What do I do with this now?
You feel it too. Do you not?
I think it pulls me back a certain amount. Oh. Wait, no. I don't... Yeah, I'm not sure how to deal with that yet. I see that it pulls you. I just don't know the patterns or the timings to avoid getting into that.
You've done well to last this long.
Curling iron. Okay.
But the battle has only just begun.
Do we get in? Nope. Seems like we don't get in. Oh, what is going on now? You've wrapped yourself in armor of hair? Okay, Ralger. What's the... So, are we just trying to survive this?
I'll slaughter you all.
Yeah, it seems like she's gonna punch you. Okay. I wish I had looked up there. All right, so this is gonna be... What's going on here?
I'll make it quick.
Is this gonna spin around some? Oh shit, nope, super dead. No, okay. I don't know. What's the next tell? All right, get away from that. Look at those arms! This is such a cool phase that she's got here. Oh shit, I'm trying to get to you. I'm not fast enough. Yes, I am fast enough. Alright, so we're dodging the wind. This one's okay.
Don't underestimate me.
I am not underestimating you. This is just all AoE damage that's pulsing out, right? Okay.
Feel my fury.
So she blasted that way, she's blasting that way. Is that where there's going to be... I'm not sure what the patterns here are beyond just dodging, but just dodging seems to be okay for the moment. Aw, dang, the fetters again. Oh, maybe you only get... Maybe, okay. What if you have to... What if you get pulled out only if you leave the circle? That might be the case. Maybe you're supposed to not supposed to leave the circle. You're supposed to stay inside the circle and do your best within the slow mechanic. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think I've solved the puzzle. Okay, so let's try it this time. So we're staying within this circle.
Be gone from my sight.
That's my goal for this area, is to not get yanked around, to just deal with being slowed. Yeah, I've 100% got it. I've solved it. Look at all these. I love the shimmering images that she has on the outside. Just the design of those. This was an awesome fight. This was a maybe... Okay. I thought we were about to get tank stacked. Okay. That was an awesome fight. That was just fantastic.
No, I will not be denied.
And it's a cool form that she's got. That's a cool version of wrapping herself in wind. Like it's a neat... I like that interpretation of just wrapping herself in tornado. And she's not dead because we're going to crystallize her. Where did she go? The wind is making her evasive. This is brighter than usual, isn't it?
There's still time. With more of the dragon's ether, I can yet...
I don't think you're getting more of the dragon's ether.
Finished.
Get reaped.
Damn it all!
So let's see if we can get an echo image from that, or can Zero not eat that? Because that sounds like that would be a good snack for her. No echo. Oh well.
I see you've bested Barbariccia. Well done.
Well done indeed.
Her minions too are all crystallized or scattered. The day is ours.
What of my sister? Tell me you learned something about Ashdaya.
We got nothing.
So the Archfiend and her crystal yielded not.
They might eventually. The echo kind of comes and goes.
Our efforts have not been entirely fruitless. We have deprived your sister's captor of another powerful champion. With Zero, we may yet challenge Golbez and his minions.
Indeed. We could not have come this far without your aid. Thank you, Zero.
I but fulfilled my part of the bargain. And now I will have my...
Are you okay? Did you expend too much ether, like, on the way here? I don't think so.
Her ether is nearly spent.
Oh, never mind.
Perhaps unsurprising given how much power she used.
Quick, feed
I
her.
wouldn't want to face another Archfiend without her. We should hurry back to Zero's domain.
Not yet. First feed her.
Agreed. Eager though I am to continue, it would be unwise to risk our lives for the sake of haste.
You can't...
Let us suspend the mission and tend to Zero.
I guess I don't know how the feeding works when Zero's not conscious. Zero hasn't so much as stir. Such power she must have expended. In her present state, Zero is an easy prey for other Void Sent. We must be on our guard. Yeah, she does not have any, like, eternal loyalty from those around her. They must be, like, licking their chops right now. Though so slow as to be nearly imperceptible, Zero's chest rises and falls in a steady rhythm. Though Zero remains unconscious, she appears otherwise fine. Insofar as I can discern, at any rate. Being part Void Sent, her physiology may be rather different from ours. Let us observe her for a while as we discuss our next move. Azem's crystal add to the Unending Codex. Now, I'm going to do just a quick check here. I want to see if I'm like one quest away from finishing 6.2, because if I am, I'll just keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to stop here. Okay, I didn't see the names of any other quests. I quickly glanced at the wiki long enough to see that there were like a few other quests, like 3 or 4 more quests after this. So I'm going to call this here for now, and we'll finish up 6.2 next time. So, or at least the 6.2 MSQ next time. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. Let me know in a comment. Let me know what you thought of the fight. Let me know how bad I was, or I don't know, anything you'd like. Yeah, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.